in a safe.
We got a break from the Cowboys. They had a bye week, okay? So we don't need to even think about them. I will say this, though. Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs don't know what the hell's going on with them. We do know what the hell is going on with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tom Brady, that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, and the Green Bay Packers. And Lord have mercy, they got football going on in Cincinnati. And to top everything off, Kyrie Irvin, newsflash, making news again. At least not him, but people about him. And Michael Irvin actually looked like he got his hair trimmed a little bit. The slope is still there, but at least it looks smooth. The crew's in the house. The weekend's over.
My wife made me, not you. It's her. She made me, not
somebody.
you.
Good morning and welcome into First Take on this Monday. Thank you so much for being with us. Hope you all had a wonderful weekend. I am crewed up as always. Stephen A. Smith to my right. Hello. The playmaker, Michael Irvin. Good day, sir. Great to see you. And the one and only, my guy, Dan Orlovsky.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's good to be. You see the space that this man covers when he has his hands?
We'll talk about the tie later. We'll talk about the tie later.
The skinny tie?
Now, he looks
We'll talk
great.
about it.
I wore the Cowboys colors.
You don't
great.
need to be commenting about nobody's wardrobe. I mean, you actually dressing down right now. I mean, I'm usually dizzy from looking at your outfit. Right now, you all right. Molly, as always, you look lovely.
Thank you, guys.
It's a beautiful table. It's a beautiful table, but it's a lot of blood and beating up's about to happen.
All right.
So it's all good.
Whatever you say.
Let's go there. Speaking of getting beaten up, what happened and what is going on with these Kansas City Chiefs?
Single day, I think we have the talent in this locker room that we can make it happen.
Dan, we talk about parity in the NFL, but this offseason, I would have never imagined asking this question. But do you think the Chiefs will miss the playoffs?
Right now, absolutely. It's a bad football team. They do things that bad football teams do. I mean, you guys notice, first of all, they're third in the NFL in offensive penalties. You go watch the game yesterday, big play, penalty. First down completion, penalty. It hasn't changed. We're a third way through the season. The penalties still show up. They lead the NFL in giveaways. Way too many turnovers. Now, Patrick Mahomes is part of the problem. Absolutely. If we're going to praise him when he's playing so well, we've got to be critical of the play when he's not playing good. Right now, Patrick has to go from, I've got to be that playmaker, special talent, to game manager.
I've been saying
There's multiple times yesterday. We showed it on Get Up where it's first down. He goes to throw the ball. It's not there, and he's got a check down right here. That's not a sexy play. It's not a talent play. It's a boring play that quarterbacks like me can make, and that's why he won't make it, because anybody can make that throw. But that's what this football team needs out of him right now. He's trying to make up. They were down 24.
How are you a game manager when you need points, though, Dan?
They were down 24-0 yesterday, and they had run 11 plays. 24-0, they had run 11 offensive plays. But that being said, the offense is part of this problem. The performance by the offensive line is bad right now. They traded a first-round pick for analytics by Tennessee. So when is it going to flip? Who is it going to flip with? The trade deadline's in a week. So how are they going to get better? This is a bad football team right now.
All right. Hold on. Let me take this. I'll save you for last.
Stephen A., you don't want this.
Please, you don't want this, okay?
Come on.
You stop your nonsense. The defense is trash. We conceded that a long time ago, okay? The defense is secondary. I mean, listen, when you look at their front four, they're a bit healthy. They can get to the quarterback. They didn't have time to get to the quarterback because people were open. I'm talking about, what did it? What is it? What did happen? What is it? 11? I mean, Ryan Tannehill completed his first 11 passes.
Yes.
His first 11 passes. 9 of their first 17 plays were for first downs. They can't stop a cold. I've been saying that for weeks. Their defense is trash. The only good is willing to sit here and say, Patrick Mahomes ain't the best quarterback in football. I don't want to hear anything from you because I have nobody said that yet. This man has not looked like the best quarterback in football. We know that, and we want to say that. But when are we going to say definitively he's not the best quarterback in football? Because let me tell you something right now. I look at him, and I look at the defense being trash, and because of it, he's trying to overcompensate. You're right in terms of him needing to make the conventional play, the easy play, and stop looking to engage in heroics. That may be true, but it has worked for them in the past. It's not working for them now. So now you got 3 quarters of the season to right the ship. We got Andy Reid. a veteran head coach and a Super Bowl champion now. We got Eric Bieniemy, a big-time offensive coordinator. We still got Patrick Mahomes. You got Travis Kelce. You got Tyreek Hill. You got McCole Hardman. You got Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'm saying that these brothers can sit up there and right the ship. I'm not trying to act like they were impressive yesterday. They were horrible. But I'm saying, could they right the ship enough to be one of 7 teams in the playoffs in the AFC? Yes, they can.
Let me tell you the issue here. And even watching Patrick Mahomes talk about it, and I remember it. I remember going through it. What they're going through right now is the reality that nobody's scared anymore.
Sure.
And you walk in a game, you think you're still that old team, and you think you're just going to shake it off and go back to killing people and dictating from an offensive standpoint, because that's what they've been doing for years. They've dictated to defenses, this is what we're going to do. We'll make you do this and then tear you up. And they no longer can do that. Got a tough schedule coming up. They got New York, then they got Green Bay, Las Vegas, and Dallas. They can lose all 3 of those games.
That is a gauntlet.
That's 1-4 before the bye. This is over for the Kansas City Chiefs, and I don't know if they can get it back.
I'll answer your question. Right now, Patrick Mahomes is not the best quarterback in football. He is still the most talented player.
Right, we're talking about playing.
But he is not the best quarterback in football right now. He's not even playing top 5 right now.
I agree.
Right.
Stephen A., you know what offensive line has given up the most pressures in football this year? The Kansas City Chiefs. Right. So if we're going to sit here and say they are going to fix the things that they're not doing well, it will start with the offensive line. It can't. They're not playing good football. Right. Their left tackle's not playing good. He's not a pass-blocking offensive lineman. He came from Baltimore in a run-blocking scheme. Their right tackle has been getting beat by like a drum all year. The interior has been incredibly inconsistent. Mecole Hardman cannot be the guy that pulls the Chiefs out of mistakes. CEH is not going to be the guy that pulls them out of mistakes. If you think that they're just going to flip the switch and stop with the penalties and stop with the takeaways, that's good. But I'm not buying that.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is let's take everything into consideration. In 2019, Kansas City had 45 sacks.
Okay.
Last year, they had 32. Okay? You weren't getting to the quarterback the way that you were. You blitzed about 7% more than you did the previous season. You have to understand that from a defensive standpoint, they recognize their inhibitions. They recognize their flaws, their deficiencies, et cetera, et cetera. What you had was a quarterback that could make up for it. When did everything really, really turn? It turned in the Super Bowl when we saw Patrick Mahomes running for his life. Okay. Because the mystique that they had in terms of being an offensive juggernaut and explode. Because remember, in the year that they went to the Super Bowl, they were down. They were down by 24 in a playoff game. They were down by 17 in a 17 in an AFC championship game. And everybody knew they were going to come back because their offense was that explosive. The difference between then and now is that Patrick Mahomes is making some mistakes that he usually is a caretaker of the football. That hasn't been the case this year. Do you have confidence that he could clean that portion up?
Yes.
I do.
Yes.
And if he takes care of the football, okay, and he's willing to take the methodical approach that you pointed out, not looking for the home run all the time, then do you have confidence that they listen?
Hold on. This is what I don't understand from this conversation. Is this a talent issue? Is this an execution issue? Is this a coaching
on offense,
issue?
talent on defense. Execution on offense, talent on defense.
No. Molly's right.
So I want to know, can this legitimately be turned? You think it's 3 for 3?
It's all 3. It is a talent.
Because if it's talent, there's really nothing you can do unless you're going to do something at the trade deadline, which is like tomorrow.
It's a talent issue on defense, unquestionably. It's a talent issue on offense at the tackle positions and the second wide receiver position.
Okay.
It is an execution issue on both sides of the football. They're calling man coverage on defense. They can't execute man coverage. They don't run the ball. And this is why when you fall in love as an offense with the run pass option, the RPO, your offensive line doesn't know what's happening with the football. Are we handing it off? Or are we throwing it? We're not great at run blocking. We're not great at pass blocking. So it's an execution issue, and it is a little bit of a coaching issue. Because at some point, I love Andy Reid, AB, they're phenomenal, right? Yeah. At some point, they are going to have to look those offensive linemen in the eye and go, we got to run the football. I don't care if they've got one extra person down near the ball than we do. Okay. We have to move people off the line of scrimmage.
They throw the football. They don't run it nearly enough. And as a result, when you're not effective First of all, you're coming off the field. You're giving opposing offenses more bites at the apple. And on top of it all, you got a defense that can't handle it, even if it was a limited number of bites at the apple. So imagine what they're going to do when you take into them being bereft of talent and you combine that with them being fatigued. You got no chances at defense. But offensively, you got enough weapons.
So we all have gotten caught up in the dynamic, in the dramatic, and you want to see it every week. And Patrick Mahomes need to just play some boring football.
Okay.
The whole defense is dropping back. Just drop the ball off.
All right.
Three,
And he can do that.
All right.
I don't know if he can do that.
Let's do this.
He has the capabilities to pull it off.
You're saying they're not missing
the
the playoffs. Dan and Michael, you think they might be missing the playoffs. But I need to give Tennessee some love, guys.
No doubt.
Yes.
Because the Titans, on the other hand, they are getting hot. 5-2. Their only losses to the Cardinals and the Jets in overtime. Mike, I'll start with you. What is the Titans ceiling?
Man, listen, when you just came off of beating Buffalo and then the game you just played, beating the Chiefs, the ceiling, they can go where they want to go. They want to go to the NFC Championship. They want to go to Super Bowl. They can do that. With that running game, with Derrick Henry. You know Derrick Henry's on pace for 2,100 yards. He will break the record on a 17-game pace right now. And with Ryan Tannehill, here's the thing that I think Tennessee has to understand. Well, there's nobody that has made me and God have more arguments in this world. Arthur Warren Brown, when he's the number one guy, Tennessee can do whatever they need to do. They can get
Dan,
to a
what do you
Super Bowl.
think? Because there's been questions about their defense.
Yeah, they're in the conversation for the elite teams in the AFC. Their defensive line's really good, though. Landry, Autry, Bud Dupree are coming on. Their defensive line plays that way. Their defense can be good enough. I got a question. When you were playing, what was your size? How big and how much you weigh?
I was 6'2", 212.
So 6'2", 212. The three skill position players for the Tennessee Titans are different than anybody else. Derrick Henry is 6'3", 245.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown is 6'1", 225. Bigger than you. Julio's 6'3", 235. No one in the NFL at the skill position has that size. No one in the NFL at the perimeter defensively can match up to those guys. That's what makes Tennessee really difficult. The perimeter guys got to go, okay, here we go. This is going to be a big boy football game.
Right. Ryan to throw the ball 27 times a game.
I'm so touched by both of y'all. The Tennessee Titans are going to be a difficult wow.
Yeah.
Y'all, stop the presses.
You can talk about the Steelers.
Well, Michael said they could go anywhere. He said AFC Championship
what are
game
you
and
gonna say
Super Bowl.
next? The sky's blue. They going out, all right? They going to win the division crown. They might win a playoff game. They might win a playoff game, and then they going out.
Why?
Listen, because let me tell you why. Because even though Derrick Henry is that dude, make no mistake about it. And I know they got Julio Jones there with A.J. Brown had a big-time game yesterday.
You're going to come back to Ryan Tannehill.
I'm coming back to Ryan Tannehill.
Man, I'm going to bed.
I tried to go to sleep. We're not asking Ryan to throw 40, 50 times a game.
Did I let you speak?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me speak, all right? Here's the deal, Dan Orlovsky, Michael Irvin.
This is a fight you don't want to get in.
Hold on, let me tell you why. It's a very simple thing for me. Tell me a matchup in the AFC where they don't have a better quarterback.
Tell me a matchup in the AFC where they play one-on-one.
Time out. You give me Ryan Tannehill, I give you Josh Allen. You give me Ryan Tannehill, I give you Lamar Jackson. You give me Ryan Tannehill, hell, I'll give you Joe Burrow.
Talk to him.
You give me Ryan Tannehill. Him and Derek Carr might be on par. Okay, I'm just saying. And then, of course, I'm assuming Patrick Mahomes is going to be up in the mix. All I'm trying to say to you is this: the number 3 rushing attack, which
Tennessee's going to play this on a loop.
Listen, the number 3 rushing attack, which is the Tennessee Titans, and Derrick Henry is my brother. I love that brother. Okay, and I love the weapons they got, but. I come back to Ryan Tannehill. And what I'm saying to you, Michael Irvin, and what I'm saying to you, Dan Orlovsky, is that at some point, it's going to come down to Ryan. They're going to say Ryan Tannehill save the day. Save the day. And I don't believe, all I'm saying to you is this. He's going to make the playoffs. Yeah. They can win a game. Yeah. They can win a game. I understand that. But I just think in this year, because I know they went to the AFC Championship game a couple years ago with Ryan Tannehill. I'm just thinking, Dan Orlovsky, seriously. The rest of the AFC, I'm seeing from them this year.
I want to try to get in Green Bay if we still have time here.
AFC's loaded.
AFC's loaded. That's where I'm coming from.
Right. We'll get back to this later. That bad man in the Packers.
He's a bad man. You
got something going well in your life.
He's a bad man.
They won.
The efficiency is just not quite where it needs to be, but we're 6-1. So, like I said on the field to Pam, coaches dream situation is winning and still being able to correct a lot of things. So they're happy.
Okay, Michael Irvin, you said last week you don't view the Packers as legit threats in the NFC. Are you still not sold on Green Bay?
I'm still not sold on Green Bay.
God.
Please tell me why.
Listen. Aaron Rodgers, everybody's going to talk about how bad of a man Aaron Rodgers
Before you go any further, let me just make one sentence before you go. So you go sit here with a straight face on national television, and you ain't got no problem propelling Ryan Tannehill to new heights, but Aaron Rodgers,
Right. Because it's a whole different battle in the NFC than it is in the AFC.
Really?
A whole different battle.
Really?
What he has to go through in the NFC is a whole different thing. And yes, my Cowboys are right on the block also that they would have to go through, and I don't see that. And I don't see that happening. To be honest with you, with the issues they have on defense.
It's too early for us.
And I come back to the offense. I mean, I'm just looking at, okay, when someone does slow down Devontae Adams, I don't know nobody has right now. Where are you going with this football? I don't see consistency, and I don't see anybody consistently making plays outside of Devontae Adams.
Okay.
And that's the issue when you look at him. Sooner or later, in the NFL, you're going to have to do something else. That's what we're talking about with Patrick Mahomes right now. He's going to have to do something else, and he won't adjust to something else. Will Aaron Rodgers be able to adjust to that something else when they get in playing better teams and they're taking away Devontae Adams? And that's my concern with the Green Bay Packers.
We'll know exactly who and what Green Bay is come Friday morning. They're playing.
Absolutely.
Playing.
This is a good point right here.
A team that they have not seen so far this year.
Right.
They have not seen an offense capable of like Arizona's. They have not seen
what bothers me. You know what bothers me about you two? Let me tell you something right now. Y'all get on my dick. No, you're not telling the truth. You're not telling the truth. Let me say this to you. I recall Tampa Bay getting smacked around in a game last year, and they ended up winning the damn Super Bowl.
Yeah.
In the NFL, particularly when you have a quarterback this great, because he's a bad man, okay? When you have a quarterback this great, you can overcome a lot of things.
You make me mad, man. You make me mad.
I don't care. Listen to me. Listen to me. Okay, listen to me. Here's the deal. I understand because I'm looking at Devontae Adams. He got 52 receptions. Tonvin got 15. Randall Cobb's got 14. Lazard's got 15. I got it. But I recall over the years, whether it's a Hall of Fame. What I'm saying to you is this, fellas. If we got the playoffs, you depended on Devontae Adams. You're anticipating that's going to be that go-to guy. But then all of a sudden, a Scantlin, a Lazard, a Tonvin, a Randall Cobb comes into the mix. Even an Aaron Jones out of the backfield catching passes on occasion. When you got a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, you don't rule it out. And when you're 6-1, won 6 straight, and you got an opportunity to make sure that the road to the Super Bowl come to Lambeau Field because you only got one loss. You two football aficionados with your own shows all over the damn place, invading the airwaves with your expertise. You have the audacity and the unmitigated gall to sit here and act like he's not even a contender. Both of you should be ashamed of yourself. Ashamed of yourself. Don't make no damn sense what y'all are saying. What's wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all?
I don't think Green Bay's not a Super Bowl contender because of their offense. I think it's not a Super Bowl contender because of their defense. If you watched yesterday's game, Taylor Heineke gets ruled down at the 1-yard line. That takes a touchdown off the board. And Aaron Rodgers makes a ridiculous play on 4th down to Devontae Adams for a touchdown.
That's a ridiculous play now.
Okay.
How about me saying
it's a remarkable play?
How about me saying
it's a remarkable
How about
play.
me saying it's par for the course because it's Aaron Rodgers?
Okay,
it's par for the course because it's Aaron Rodgers.
Me and Irvin aren't saying that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams aren't great. They're going to be a playoff team. They're going to make the playoffs, and but at the end of the day, they're going to match up against a team that has just as explosive of an offense, and their defense is not going to be playing Washington every week. Their defense is not going to get 3 red zone turnovers.
What I just going to say about Tennessee? You mean that's what they're going to face?
Well, Tennessee plays in the AFC.
They'll have to keep.
So when they got to play a team like the Rams, when they got to play a team like the Buccaneers, when they got to play a team like the Dallas Cowboys, when they got to play a team like the Arizona Cardinals that have a really good defense and a as explosive offense, more versatile offense, more piece down offense. That's what the question is.
They might lose, but the fact of the matter is anybody might lose. When you got Aaron Rodgers, Rodgers. You a contender, bro. That's what I'm saying.
If we had to ask you to take out your wallet right now and go, who's going to win the Super Bowl from the NFC?
I got a better one. If you asked me to take out my wallet right now and bet against Aaron Rodgers, I would sit up there. I'm not so sure I want to do that. I wouldn't want to bet against him.
You would take the Packers over the Bucks?
I'm saying I would be nervous about betting against him.
Would you take
what I'm saying?
Would you take the Packers over the Bucks?
No, I wouldn't.
Would you take the Packers over the Cowboys?
I might do that.
Come on.
It's a yes or no.
Come on, man. Stop that, man.
You have the Cowboys.
No, you will not, man. No, you will not.
It's fluid.
No,
Would you take
He goes
so hard for his boy, and then you throw out a bunch of teams, and he's like, I actually wouldn't even take the Packers.
You're letting him take the argument.
Changing the argument.
Molly, you're better than Donald. You're changing the argument, Molly. That's what you're doing. You're changing the argument, Molly.
He's destroying your argument. He just threw out 2 teams.
No way. I'm looking at you.
You're getting double teamed.
Would you take the Packers over the Cardinals?
Time.
Would you take the Packers over the Cardinals?
No, I wouldn't right now.
Would you take the Packers over the Rams?
Yes. No. What I'm saying to you is this. If you're asking me to bet on Aaron Rodgers, I would find it very difficult to do that.
All right, so he would take, let's count the teams he'll take over that bad man. He'll take the Bucks, he'll take the Cardinals, he'll take the Cowboys,
That's all we're saying.
and he's not sure about the Rams.
That's all we're saying. Benedict Arnold, that's what I'm going to call him, Benedict Arnold now, because he's changing the argument. What I'm saying is,
Get a newer reference.
Any given Sunday, anybody can lose. We understand that. Listen, what I'm saying is, when you got Aaron Rodgers, don't talk to me about him not being a legit Super Bowl contender. He can take anybody out. Don't tell me he can't now. And y'all all know it. And let me tell you something right now. Aaron Rodgers, the decision making and the dimes that he throws and the things he's capable of. Yes.
You need to relax. We need to all take a break.
Have great offense.
I'm very relaxed.
So Aaron Rodgers taking somebody out is not going to have him by himself. He's going to need his defense to make some stops. That's all we're saying. And they can't make stops against those teams that we're talking about.
The same man that's been calling
with the Cowboys
a Super Bowl contender with their
right in there.
All right.
Right now.
He was always right now.
Gentlemen, we're talking about right now.
Let's all take a breath. Let's take a moment. The Packers are 17-12, best record out of this.
We good.
Still to come. We're all going to pause. We're going to have a little quiet time. They had at least a share of the best record in their conference this late in the season was through week 17 of the 2015 season. Now, according to ESPN FBI, Cincy now has a 42% chance to win the AFC North after having a 5% chance to enter the season. Outplaying expectations. Ryan Clark is in the building. Good day, sir. We'll get to you in just a second. Stephen A., I want to start with you. Do you trust Burrow or Lamar more moving forward?
I can't even front. I'm watching Joe Burrow, Ryan Clark, Swagoo. They've been talking about this for years since he was at LSU. Dan Orlovsky's been talking about him. I'm watching this cat. He looks really, really impressive throwing that football. Yep. But to me, Jamar Chase is that dude. This brother is spectacular. Yeah. I mean, without question, the offensive rookie of the year. Without question already, he's that special. And when you've got a primary target like that, and you still got cats like Higgins and Mixon in the offense, this offense can obviously flow. The defense is underrated. They really, really are elevating their level of stature. And I'm thinking about the AFC North. We see how the Pittsburgh Steelers struggle.
But I just want to be
for the football consistently. I'm not thinking playmaking.
Okay.
First, you have to show me that consistently you can be accurate in throwing the football. That is my criteria for the quarterback position that I've been consistent about throughout my career on television. I'm very, very big on that, and that is the lone question I've had about Lamar Jackson. He was a leading rusher yesterday with 86 yards or something like that rushing. They had nobody else running the football for them. He was sacked 5 times. He was under pressure. I get that. I love that touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown. I get it. But consistently watching them throw the football, Joe Burrow just appears to be on another level.
You know what? The last time we stood in this spot, I had to kill y'all, right? I had to come on here and I had to kill y'all. Both of y'all, right? And it seems like I'm going to have to do the same thing today.
First
off, Molly.
You want to say that?
Yes.
We were
Molly,
talking about Justin Fields.
You got your sunglasses you was wearing in L.A.? Because every time Stephen A.'s sleeve raised up,
You're blinded?
Oh, my God.
Ryan, I don't even know how he's walking around New York City with that.
Is this what we do now? So you can come on and have takes that aren't correct when you're walking around iced up like this. But it's Lamar Jackson. It's Lamar Jackson because we're talking about Lamar Jackson like he's a finished product. I mean, we're talking about Lamar Jackson like Joe Burrow's not older than he is. Lamar Jackson already has an MVP. Lamar Jackson isn't playing with the Jamar Chases. Lamar Jackson isn't playing with the Joe Mixons. Right now, all of his running backs are my age. All of his running backs were on teams and cut and release. That's why he's the leading rusher. That's why he has to go for 500 yards in prime time to get this team a win. Lamar Jackson is playing at such a high level right now. I think that we are ignoring it because we've seen it before. Right? We saw him win the MVP. We saw him carry a team. Lamar Jackson is on pace to again give us something we've never seen. And y'all act like it's not happening.
I'm gonna give it to him first.
Yeah, and we're not saying he's not doing what he's doing. First of all, let me back up just a little bit and reverse here, because the last time we sat here, we were talking about Justin Fields. And when I see Justin Fields right now, I said he should be starting. You said he should be starting. I don't think that. I don't think that you said that wrong. But why you saying you won last time? You lost last time. How you killed us? If Justin Fields looking like he's looking. You are
blowing up this stuff right there. It look like you kill anybody. You didn't kill anybody that day. You did not do that. You did not do that.
They started him. This is better than how he's playing.
Y'all go back up off me. It's a lot of foot lead right here. It's a lot of that now.
Get out of here with that. But now when we start talking about these two quarterbacks, and both of these are great quarterbacks, man, for their football team. But I can't help but kind of throw myself in there. Personally, I want a quarterback that's using his arms as his primary weapon, especially if I'm playing wide receiver, because I want to feed my kids too. I want to catch some passes too. And Joe Burrow, spread that ball around. Let me tell you something. Cincinnati remind me a lot of that young team that we had back in 91, right on the verge. And when I saw yesterday, I was like, I want to believe in Cincinnati, but I'm afraid. And then I saw Joe pull up yesterday in that suit. Oh my God! Did y'all see that suit? Did y'all see what he wore yesterday? Did y'all see that suit right there? I said, oh, that's a winner's suit right there. Ain't nowhere in the world they're about to lose this football game. I was like, I want to change my pick right there. That says they knew something. They know something. You see that? That's just because that's something you
I have a point to make. Here's the one thing about your old Dallas team and this Cincinnati Bengals team.
What's that?
That Dallas team ain't have a wide receiver as good as Jamar Chase.
You believe that? I believe that.
They ain't had a receiver as good as Jamar Chase. So that's the first thing.
No, we talking about gifts now. He has more gifts. We got to see if he has more rings. We talking about gifts. There are two things in there. There are gifts and rings. Now you got to marry those gifts.
Go ahead, because I want to get back in there. Here's my point.
And you're right. They do got some receivers.
Let me let y'all know where I'm coming from. When I watch Lamar Jackson, what have I been saying on this set? This brother is electrifying. He's special. We get all of that. In 3 of his 4 playoff games, he finally won a playoff game last year. All right, when I forgot who he beat. I'm sorry, Titans. He beat the Titans, lost to Buffalo. Okay.
Yep.
In 3 of the 4 games that he's lost the playoff game, he threw for less than 60% completion. I'm saying to you what I'm seeing from him in the regular season. I keep saying I need to see that in the postseason. When I look at Joe Burrow, we don't have that concern. We know he's a passer. He can run with the football occasionally. No one can run like Lamar Jackson.
Right.
And Lamar Jackson's an electrifying playmaker, and we know all of that. But you have to be able to throw the football from the quarterback position if you're going to win in the playoffs.
Real quick, because Molly's coming. Molly has to host.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is this is what happened with Lamar Jackson, right? Lamar Jackson, we don't know if we could draft him. We draft him 32. He comes in, starts for Joe Flacco. Oh, but it's still not enough. He lost in the playoffs. Let's move the line back again. Oh, he comes in. Now he's the MVP. He's played so great. They lose again in the playoffs. Oh, he got to win the playoff game. He comes, he wins the playoff game. Oh, my God. Now he got to beat Patrick Mahomes.
Can I answer that?
That's all y'all do every time with Lamar Jackson.
Can I answer why?
The line is always the same. The line is
why is the line not the same for everybody else, though?
Can I ask a question? Let me answer that.
It's not the same for nobody else.
Let me tell you why it's that way. Because Lamar Jackson, 25 years of age. How old is Joe Burrow?
They both 24.
Okay. So he's 24. They're both 24. I'm sorry. Josh Allen, 25.
All right.
Patrick Mahomes is 26.
Gentlemen, we're out of time.
They're right there. They're in his way. They're not going anywhere.
But he right there with him, too.
Okay.
we sit up here and say that about Josh
Y'all
Allen?
don't even have the same argument.
Allen's in
You're
the
talking
AFC
about moving the line back.
Okay.
You're talking about the competition he has faced. Nobody's moving the line. The line is only one line, and the one line says Super Bowl.
That's a lie,
No other
that's not
line.
what we
No other
talking
line.
about.
That's the only measuring stick that we're talking about. Getting to the playoffs. Can you get to a Super Bowl? I believe this man will.
Your
before
team,
that.
girl. I'm going to remember that.
Did you know
Gentlemen,
what? I
we're out
believe
of
this
time.
man to get a
We're out
Super
of time.
Bowl
We're out
before
of time.
that man to get a Super Bowl.
That's a lie.
All right. By the way, his suit was out of season. Seafoam green, not right now.
It ain't
Let me
matter.
see this one more
She's
time.
qualified.
Let me
She's
see this.
qualified.
Let me see this.
Oh, my
Let me
God.
see this.
Beautiful.
Stop hiding it. Let me see it.
Oh, my
Let me see it.
God.
How many carats is that?
That's how you do it, you brick, huh?
Goodness.
When you brick.
When you
All right.
brick, bricks
Still
and
to come
rocks.
here on First Take, New
Ross.
England. Stephen A. With the AFC wide open, can the Pats go and make a run?
Well, they could, but I would say no. They're not going to. I don't think they're going to the playoffs. Just from a scheduling perspective and the fact that they're not the most talented group in the world, I think Bill Belichick is a great coach that's bringing them along. I see the development of Mac Jones week to week, along with some of the other personnel pieces that they have. But in the end, it comes down to two things, your record and your schedule. And I'm thinking about you got a road game against the Chargers up next, okay? I believe that's a loss. You've got a road game against Carolina. You could potentially win that. You got Cleveland after that, which I think could potentially be a loss, even though that's at home. You've got a game against Tennessee, 2 against Buffalo, and the Indianapolis Colts coming up. I see at least 4 more losses on this schedule. Best case scenario I see for the New England Patriots is a 9-8 record. And because of that is why I say no playoffs in the AFC.
Now, I want to hear the argument that says they will be, or they can make a run. And I heard this, Dan. I want to hear this argument because I'm with Stephen A. There's no way we're looking at this team right now as a playoff team. Just by they only beat the Jets in Houston.
Yeah.
That's it.
But they've also lost to the Bucs and the Cowboys by 1 play. So if we're gonna, here's my thing: if we are gonna say, and I agree with you guys, that the Bucs and the Cowboys are 2 of the best teams in football, right? That's
Right. No doubt.
Indisputable? Indisputable. If there's a team that loses to them early in the season with a team that they're trying to figure out who they are on a rookie quarterback at the end of the game on the last play, how can we not sit here and consider them to be a good football team?
Well, they're a good football team.
Okay, so
They're a
good football teams have legit chances to make the playoffs. So I'm looking at a team, again, first week of the season, they lose to Miami because Damian Harris fumbles the football. He has not done that in the last couple of weeks. And I go with the New England Patriots. If you asked me 2 weeks ago, who were they? I'd say they're a really good football team that does not convert in the red zone. Because Josh McDaniels had not figured out all right, how is he going to use Jonnu Smith? Watch the way they're using Jonnu Smith right now. They're not letting him be a route runner anymore. Get the ball to him. We're just getting the ball to him. Let him go be an athlete. Hunter Henry has become the route runner. Watch how they're and go. Then we have a very different conversation when they go to play Cleveland. Who knows what Cleveland's health is going to be? If Odell is going to be on the team at that point. I think the Patriots can absolutely make the playoffs. I know their schedule is hard. I think they can beat Buffalo one time. I do. I think this is a good football team.
We like to do that. We like to measure and say, oh, man, these guys, they play the top teams tough. And they did. They only lost, as you said, they were in those games, and they were. But they didn't win any of them.
Right.
You know what I mean? You didn't win any of them. And in order to get to the playoffs, you can't just be in those kinds of games. You got to show an ability to win those kinds of games.
Michael, how about the poise we saw from Mac Jones? I mean,
Nobody-
that was like a
listen,
Super Bowl. I'm
listen,
saying when Tom Brady came to town,
right.
all eyes on that game like no other.
Right, and man, what a performance! And I told
Right?
you guys, I would have been so hot
For a
at that
rookie?
kicker. If I had a chance to beat Tom Brady and I lose that game, I'd have been so hot. And he's done a fabulous job. But to talk about getting in the playoffs with this team right now is not realistic. Though this team has made great strides, and I'm on WEI every week, and I tell them, listen, you guys, you have to look at the small increments. Victories for this team. They played those games close. That's what you're looking at, but you're not going to the playoffs, and they certainly can't
Let's
get
also
anywhere
pay
near a
attention
Super
to
Bowl.
this fact. We make noise about what he did against Tom Brady. The week before that, what happened? They got shellacked by New Orleans and Jameis Winston.
It's the only bad game he's played.
I'm just saying, let's not forget that.
Yeah.
No,
That's all I'm
just,
trying to
but
say.
Stephen A., I'm
It's all
just
a
saying
process
poise
for a
in
young
that moment.
quarterback.
I mean, that is one of
It's
the
all a
most talked
process
about
for a young
regular season
quarterback.
games of all time, and they almost beat them.
Yeah, I'm thinking he played
People thought
without
it was
his
gonna be a
money. I'm thinking he
blowout.
played without his money personally. They won 19 to Tampa Bay won 19 to 17.
Yeah.
To me, that story. And listen, Mac Jones played
right.
well,
No one's
but the
saying
story
anything.
wasn't Mac Jones. The story was how the inclement weather and how that defense showed up for New England against Tampa Bay.
And I I'm not so sure they're going to take out the Chargers as you are. I mean, maybe that Gilmore to take out Mike Williams. I'm not so sure. They will
I don't
run
see
the
the
ball.
Chargers.
Well, let me ask you this.
Not after what they did
Even
to the
into the
Chargers last
future,
year.
how good do you think Mac Jones is going to be?
I
Is he
think
going to be
he's
like
very
an
good.
That's very good.
Yeah,
elite
very
quarterback?
good.
Yeah, I think he's going to be a top 10 player.
No doubt.
Because of the system that he is in, that
Yep.
plays in, there'll be a top 10 player at the position.
I
I
like
think
Mac
he
Jones a
is
lot.
a
No
Matt
doubt.
Ryan type of player. If you watch him, he plays so fast. He plays so fast and makes good decisions with the football. He's going to be a really good player.
I think a higher ceiling than Ryan.
I'd ask you this. What do you think the Patriots don't do well as a football team? Right? Because that's when we're talking about making the playoffs and teams who can and cannot. What do they not do now? Because I think there's 9 teams in the AFC that are legit playoff contenders. Tennessee, absolutely. I think the Raiders, absolutely. The Chargers, the Bengals, Baltimore. I think we're talking about Indianapolis is that team that can make the playoffs. I think we're talking about the New England Patriots, the team that can make the playoffs, in Cleveland.
Did you
make
say the
valid
Bills?
points. You know, you make
And
valid
Buffalo,
points.
excuse me,
You
yes.
make valid points. You know what my retort to that would be? They do a lot of things good. Nothing really great.
That's fair.
When you consider who they're going to go up against. You know, one of those good teams that can make things competitive, but somehow, some way you can close the door on them. That's who
I
New
think that's
England is to me.
fair. I think that's fair. I look at the way the team has played over the last 3 or 4 weeks. And again, the efficiency on offense, the physicality in the run game, the decision making at the quarterback, the way they're using the little different pieces, and their defense is starting to play good football.
And all I would need, you ask me one
Never
thing,
said that.
where are the explosive plays? I need that explosiveness that will scare me, and I don't see that.
And that's a fair point. They're going to have to be very methodical offensively.
Right. And that's a hard drive, time in and time out with a rookie quarterback. And nobody's saying Mac Jones isn't great.
Yeah.
He's been playing great, man. He's exceptional. We're not saying that. Just we're saying he's not ready for
NFL,
play.
everybody
Dan,
can't
keeping
get to
hope
the
alive.
postseason. Everybody can't get to the postseason.
Listen, Stephen A., do me a favor. When you mention the Panthers, could you mention who beat them?
Oh, the Giants?
The New York Football
Congratulations.
Giants.
The Panthers beat
Congratulations.
themselves.
Listen.
Goodbye. You need to go. Don't you have to go to Bristol and do NFL Live? I thought we were friends.
A dead clock is right twice a day.
Goodbye.
Okay, it
Goodbye to
happens.
everyone. Still,
Be on there because they already know you're going to finish last again.
you better bring your watch.
That's why I
all
wore hearts on my
That's
shirt
your
for you
only
today.
saving grace.
Please, my wardrobe is tight, and all of y'all know it. I ain't even worried about it. I mean, y'all must be crazy. Y'all must be crazy.
All right.
By the way, I got some new stuff coming too, though. Make no
Okay.
mistake about that.
Okay, don't hurt him,
The
Stephen A.
watch is just a little bit of overcompensation for what you're missing in the suit game.
Did you see me when I showed up at the UFC? At the UFC fight, you saw what I was
Yeah, I saw
rocking?
you.
I mean, I know what I'm doing. I mean, at some point,
my
y'all got
goodness.
to that. You know what I'm saying? I know what I'm doing.
All right. Anyway, we're very excited about that. Also excited about this fresh hour first take on the way here, guys. Nobody saw this coming with the Chiefs. How much of their slow start is on Patrick Mahomes? Plus, Stephen A., the Knicks lost to the Magic. Is Stephen A.'s finger on the panic button? Yes, it is. Plus, Kyler and the Cards look unstoppable. Which NFC powerhouse is their biggest threat? All that coming up in the second hour first take. But first, Bucks are averaging over 40 points per game in their 4 home games this season, tied for the 7th most through a team's first 4 home games in a season since 1970. That was the merger. But are they the best offense in the NFL? The Cowboys' offense ranks slightly ahead of the Bucks in both yards and points per game this season. Stephen A., cover your ears. Ryan Clark back here with us. Michael, I think I know which way you're going, but I want to start with you anyway, playmaker. Which offense is more dangerous? Is it Tampa Bay or Dallas?
Oh, and listen, Tampa Bay has a dangerous offense, and that slant route that we just showed Mike Evans catching, that's a big boy play. That's a big boy play. And Dallas really don't have any of those kinds of receivers, those big boy receivers to make those kinds of plays. But they do have great receivers that can make plays all over the football field. And the one asset that I'll pull out on offense that I said Dallas has that Tampa does not have is an ability to get yards from the quarterback position with Dak Prescott that Tom Brady cannot give you. Everything else, they both have. Everything else they both have. They both have, and Dak even has a better run game than Tom Brady has bar none. Now, I'm not just talking about better than the Bucs. I'm talking about, period, the best offense in the NFC with their ability to hit you any kind of way they want.
Well, let me say this. I mean, I certainly can't argue with you based on the way they've looked. I mean, we got to stop the presses. I mean, they went up against those
Oh my
rough riders,
gosh.
those Philadelphia Eagles, right? I mean, of course, we saw them go against Tampa Bay and the Chargers the first 2 weeks of the season, but then after that, they went against the Super Bowl contenders that are the Philadelphia Eagles.
Don't get Philly mad at you.
Those stout defenders known as the Carolina Panthers without Christian McCaffrey, okay? They went up against
The Patriots?
They went up against the New York Giants. I mean, just stop the presses. I mean, we
Giants
really
had a
gotta
big
stop the
win
presses
this
there.
weekend,
And of course, the Patriots. I mean, really stop the presses, y'all. I mean, my God. I mean, just look at they're knocking them. I mean, it's something special to behold. It really, really is. When I see the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, I see you give me Dak Prescott, I give you Tom Brady. I understand that Ezekiel Elliott and Tony Pollard are no joke, but Leonard Fournette ain't nothing to sneeze at, particularly in that offense. You give me Amari Cooper and obviously a C.D. Lamb and stuff like that. I will remind you about that brother Antonio Brown, Mike Evans, and Chris Godwin are nothing to sneeze at either. Not to
Wait,
I didn't hear that. Me and Michael didn't hear that. Yeah.
Hey, it's okay, Stephen A. Because here's what you have going for you.
Okay.
It's basketball season.
Yes.
You will actually be able to win a debate on your own show. Because as long as it's football season, you're going to keep taking these L's.
Okay.
And here's another one. Because it's the Cowboys. And the hard thing about coming on this show and saying this is this. You got to go against the GOAT. Right? The feeling is you should never go against the GOAT. And Tom Brady, to me, is playing the best ball that I've ever seen him play.
Man.
He's going out of his mind. Right? You have all of these receivers. Early on in the season, it was Gronk. And then we saw AB come along. Both of those guys are hurt. You could go to Michael Irvin. I know that's what you were feeling when you were walking in here. But the thing you did was you wore the right colors. You came in here in the Cowboys colors with the star. With the star. With the star on the wrist. With the bling on the wrist.
Oh, for once in his life, he's timid.
Here's what separates these two offenses. Both of these two offenses are explosive in the pass. They got quarterbacks that are making plays not only in the clutch, but anytime you need it to any wide receiver. Whether we can hit Cedric Wilson on a 4th and 4 if we need to because he's that good and my quarterback's that good. What happens? Let's just say it happens that you stop the pass game, that you play deep cover 2 like we see teams do against the Kansas City Chiefs, and somebody has to decide we're going to turn around and hand this ball off.
And they can't do it.
Tampa Bay can't do it.
Not win a game.
Tampa Bay can't do it and win a game. The Dallas Cowboys offense can win a football game.
Do you feel
any
disrespected?
way you make them play. They're the best.
I'm sitting across from
And
two.
they get Leo Collins back. They're getting back the time.
They're the most complete. See, I'm gonna say, here's what I like about playmakers.
I love that.
Here's what I like about playmakers.
We got all reasons why they missing games now. We got dudes ineligible. We got dudes getting in trouble all the time. Are we sure they're going to be available? I'm just saying, are we sure they're going to be available? That's all I'm trying to say. Are we sure they're going to be available?
That is a staple of the Dallas Cowboys. We will miss games in any type of way we can.
That's right.
Okay, but the final thing is this, and I'm a one-up the playmaker on Dallas for the first time in his life. Somebody is more excited about the Cowboys than he is.
Oh, Lord.
He sold them short. He said they're the best offense in the NFC. The Dallas Cowboys are the most complete offense in the entire league.
Hey, you come over for dinner this week anytime. You're saying some good stuff. He knows what he's talking about.
I get what y'all saying, and I do understand that I'm sitting across from 2 Super Bowl champions. A dude that never played football, never thought about playing football, never wanted to play football. I'm sitting across from 2 Super Bowl champions. That's cool. But, you know, it's interesting because Ryan was acting like I'm losing debates. Ryan was wrong twice.
You said you lost all of them.
He just didn't show up the weeks he was wrong. You understand? I'm going to let that go now. I'm going to let that go. He was off. Okay? He didn't show up when I was looking for him when I was right. But that's neither here nor there. We'll get him later because they ain't going to be the only time he's been wrong. That's number one. Number two, here's how I answered this question. When you say the better offense, are we talking right now? Because, see, I'm projecting. And I'm thinking about the postseason. And I'm thinking about the Cowboys and the Bucs and who's going to be the best offense when it counts. That's where I'm at. Because I already brought up the schedule. That cupcake schedule over the last 4 or 5 weeks that the Cowboys have been experiencing. I mean, you want to write home about that, you go right ahead. You go right ahead and get caught up in it. I'm not.
No, how you the star of the show, you write the show, you change the...
I write the show. Let me get credit for something. I write the show.
You change the questions mid-question, and you go to different things.
Golly.
What I'm saying to you is this. I don't believe what I'm seeing. Yeah, I give them respect. I know they are potent offense. We knew that coming into the season. But when you say they're the best, I am allergic to making such proclamations about anything Dallas Cowboys and the best. Those are oxymorons as far as I'm concerned. I can't mess
More of
with
these
that.
words.
I cannot do it. I cannot do it. I'm looking at them, Philly, Carolina, Giants, New England Patriots.
You play when they put
I'm
on
not
the
knocking
All right,
it.
can I give the Hall of Fame? Can I give the former Cowboy the Hall of Famer the final word?
Not just did they win, but how they looked with the win while they were winning. That's why we are here to break it down, and you see what the Dallas Cowboys look like.
But does the competition matter?
Who they're playing.
But does the competition matter? I mean, if you a giant in a small man's contest, ain't you gonna look taller than everybody else? I mean, damn. What you want me to say?
Come on, this isn't David and Goliath. Let's relax.
I'm just saying that the Dallas Cowboys, who have you gone against the last month?
All right.
And you got a bye week.
Did you not watch the first week?
Okay.
When they went against Tampa?
They were very impressive the first
Coming
week.
up.
They were competitive when they lost.
It happened
They were competitive
yet
when they
again.
lost.
Did that, Stephen A., what's the biggest surprise, or bigger surprise rather, the first place Raiders or the last place Niners?
Well, I think you have to go with the Raiders simply because you're talking about them being in first place. The fact is, nobody expected that to happen, not with the way what we've seen from Kansas City over the last couple of years, and certainly not what we've seen from the Los Angeles Chargers last year with the way Justin Herbert was coming on. We didn't expect much from Denver. They've fallen back down to earth, predictably so. But we certainly looked at the AFC West and we said Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs and then everybody else. And then we looked at the Chargers as potentially being a playoff team now that they had a new coach in Brandon Staley and you had Justin Herbert back there with Keenan Allen and Mike Williams and those boys. But if you look at the Raiders right now, they're top 10 offense. They're the number 2 passing attack. I'm looking at Derek Carr right now and I'm saying, excuse me, the brother's completed 67.7% of his passes, just 12 touchdowns, 5 interceptions. But first place, give them some love, but also 2-0 since Gruden's been out with the distractions over the last two weeks. I got to give them credit for that.
Yeah, big ups on that, man. I am shocked at what I see with San Francisco. Yeah, I'm a huge Kyle Shanahan fan. I think he's one of the best coaches in the National Football League. And to see this team right now where they are, because I had them getting deep into the playoffs.
Yeah.
The defense just isn't what it used to be. And it used to be such a that front was so beast fight. You remember when they
should have never lost
Green
Buckman
Bay.
and Indy.
And I was just talking
They talked about it
that.
last night.
I was just talking. I said, do you think it meant that much? Because sometimes you can go in a locker room and it's that one player, you take him out of the locker room and a lot of things change. But they got Bosa back and they're still not doing what I thought San Francisco 49ers would be doing. So I'm shocked. I knew the Raiders had a chance. We saw the Raiders play the Chiefs pretty well last year.
Right.
So you saw them coming. And then this last little bit with John Gruden.
But Jimmy G got hurt again.
Well, Jimmy G, right? And that's the reason you trade up to get the number 3 pick. Right. So now George Kittle's out. Last night Trent Williams doesn't play. So you have those things. But to me, it's the Las Vegas Raiders. It's the Las Vegas Raiders and the way they started the season. And then we have to remember for the last 2 weeks, John Gruden was there. You see them play against the Chargers. You see them play against the Bears, and this team is listless, right? This team has no energy. This is a team that's not playing well. Derek Carr kind of reverts back to some of the things we criticized him for. And then now Rich Bisaccia takes over this team, and it's been a different team the last 2 weeks against the Denver Broncos and yesterday against the Philadelphia Eagles. And I get it. Neither one of these teams are gangbusters, but the effort they've played with, right? How good.
But let me get on you with your drivel, okay? Because let me tell you something right now. There's another reason why the Raiders should be a bigger surprise than the San Francisco 49ers playmaker.
Ooh.
The San Francisco 49ers.
Say that P hard as
led by Kyle Shanahan.
Yes, right.
With Jimmy Garoppolo. They are 24-11. With Kyle Shanahan. Without Jimmy Garoppolo. With Kyle Shanahan.
Trash.
They are 7-28. So when you talk about listen, no. It's not Jimmy G Love. It's not porn star Jimmy, no.
Just
you know what I'm saying? I'm not doing that. Well, he is porn star Jimmy, man. He'll always be porn star Jimmy. That wasn't me. That was him.
Listen, you hang out on the same street, Rodeo.
Excuse me. No, I don't. Hold it. Rodeo ain't where porn star Jimmy
That's
was.
where he was, on Rodeo.
Excuse me. It was off that. It was off.
Was you
that.
trying to find him?
No, I wasn't.
And
I
his
wasn't looking
people?
for him. I wasn't looking for him. Listen, I don't have
That
to
was
go
the whole
route.
thing.
I'm
It was
good.
broad
I'm
daylight.
good.
It was
the point that
Rodeo.
I'm trying to make
Carry
here-
on. I know the details of the
you
story.
brought out- Just say, yeah, you know the details. I don't. Okay. And here's the deal. I just know he went out with a porn star. Okay.
Oh,
And
Stephen A.
But here's the deal.
Stay focused.
I am staying focused. Okay. Here's the deal, y'all.
It's so good, crazy.
7-28, man. I mean, what do you say about that? Now, this is the same dude that has blown not one but 2 Super Bowls with his offensive play
You
calling.
say Jimmy G
All right,
wins
and he's
Kyle
7-28. Then Kyle Shanahan, and he's 7-28 without Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm not saying that Kyle Shanahan don't know how to call plays and he ain't a good coach, but I'm like, damn, do we get to point to his record?
If you take away Tom Brady from Bill Belichick, what's his record? We
Bill Belichick improved Cleveland before he ever
run
got
that
to New
race,
England.
right? We can run that race because all day long. I'm saying yes, he needs a quarterback. If you're telling me, oh, with Jimmy G, he's winning, but if he has these other quarterbacks, he's not winning. Every coach needs a quarterback.
I think-
Ryan, last word here, then I want to move on to something
Bottom
else.
line is this. Coming into the season, I expected the Los Angeles Rams to be better. I expected the Seattle Seahawks to be better than them. I expected the Cardinals to be better than them. This is what I expected from the San Francisco 49ers, unless Trey Lance was a revelation.
I didn't
and
expect
and he's not a revelation, and Jimmy G's still getting hurt.
I
The
thought
Las
they would get
Vegas
those
Raiders
guys
to be
back.
in this place after dealing with what you had to deal with with John Gruden, with trying to pull that team apart, bringing them together and playing the way they had the last 2 weeks after starting the season hot. I think to me that's one of the bigger stories in football this year.
Of course, because they could have fell apart there. I want to ask this question why I still have you here and obviously Playmaker. When we talk about Cincinnati in that beatdown they put on the Ravens, when you look at Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Playmaker, where did they rank amongst the best duos in the
actually, this
NFL
Friday.
right now?
And listen, and I was thinking about that this morning. I was like, wow, who would you take? And look at it. And I said, oh, would I take Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams?
Yes.
Maybe I'll take Aaron.
Yes.
And I said,
Excuse
would I
me,
take
we'll get to you.
Would I
Can
take
you man
Kyler
talk?
Murray and DeAndre Hopkins? I think they're top 3 right there. And I'm gonna tell you, I think I would battle over if I'm taking Kyler Murray, DeAndre Hopkins over Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. I'll give number 1 right now to Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams. But they're tied. Those 2 must be tied for number 2 right now.
2A, 2B?
2A, 2B. Jamar Chase is a beast, man. And I thought he was more of a up-the-field guy. I'm watching this dude run slants, catch that ball, break out of tackles, and go the distance. That says you're a different
I'm going to say
kind of
this.
dude when you can do
Coming
that.
into the weekend, Stephen A. asked me this on Friday, and I didn't want to be
Who they have to be. Mike Williams has to now start playing, has to understand this is the kind of defense you will see.
Man,
they're going to take the best player and put him on you, and you have to beat that best player.
Exactly.
Jamar Chase beat that best player.
Wait a minute.
He beat that
Wait
best
a
player.
minute.
Oh my
Would you
goodness.
stop
Jeez.
being a brat?
Because y'all are driving me crazy with this,
Thank you.
man. I'm not a brat, okay? Let me tell you something, all right? Let me tell you something, both of y'all. Like you said, now you're going to treat him like a number 1 receiver and defend against him. So the implication is they hadn't done that up to this point, right?
And
So
yesterday he did.
So what I'm asking is, do we get to see what they do under that level of duress moving forward? It is possible. It is plausible that Cincinnati has snuck up on some people. I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is a stud. Joe Burrow's a stud. You know how I feel about him. But I'm saying, now that the surprise is over, and they ain't sneaking up on anybody any longer, is it possible we might see something different?
Yeah, I'm going to say this.
Let me tell you why. Because they have other talents making plays. T. Higgins is making plays.
Tyler Boyd.
And Tyler Boyd.
Uzomah.
They're making plays. And that tight end.
Uzomah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Uzomah. Not only
Here's
is
what's
he
crazy.
a great tight end.
Here's what's crazy.
He has a run after catch ability.
I can say
that's crazy.
I can say I was
Ryan,
wrong.
last word here.
I saw Jamar Chase do this when he was 15 years old. I watched him do it in college, and I didn't think it would transfer or translate to the NFL this early.
Like this.
He's averaging 21 yards a catch.
Yeah, that's out of here.
That's out of
Seamless
hand.
transition.
That's out of
Absolutely. All right, RC, we will see you at FAMU. Thank you,
Yes,
sir,
I can't
for
wait.
being
Man,
with us.
I'm tell you what. Boy, this suit I got, Stephen A. If you come in one of them old school preacher blue joints, black joints, or whatever, they gonna think you trying to go to a Power 5 school. They gonna think you forgot you was trying to go to HBCU. I'm letting you know.
Excuse me.
I'm just letting you know.
I graduated from an HBCU. I rep HBCUs all day, every day. I have nothing to prove. I can roll up in a pair of shorts. and
You're
I
so
look-
bougie now, though, and they know it. You changed.
Watch on.
You changed.
Yeah, with that watch on.
You changed.
On national television. See,
I stay on Southern campus. Where you be?
The betrayal. Excuse me?
I go to Southern campus.
You live there. You live there. You know what I'm saying? I travel to Winston about 3 times a year.
Oh,
about?
men. You men are a different breed. Boy, I'll tell you. Still to come on First Take, someone break up the Cardinal maker. How much of the Chiefs' struggles are on Mahomes?
Well, Mahomes trying to fix everything with his ability, and he can't because they got too many holes. So yes, some of this has to be on him. When you keep throwing interceptions, but now you got 1 interception in the last 6 games, at least an interception, 8, 9 interceptions this season. Absolutely, that's on Patrick Mahomes. He has to just, let's play some small ball. Let's just walk the ball down the field. They're taking away the big passes.
And now we go sit here and talk about Patrick Mahomes.
Pat has to take credit for what's happening. And let me tell you what bothers me, though. When I watch him, I see it's messing with him. It's messing with his confidence. But since you don't have a running game, it's messing with his confidence.
I'm not worried about Patrick Mahomes' confidence, man.
It's messing with his confidence. Now, when you don't have a running game, you have to use the short passing game as a running game. That could help Kansas City so much because now you're sustaining drives and keeping that poor defense off the field, and they're not doing that. They're not doing it, Stephen. They dictated the defenses so long, and defenses now dictating to them, and they will not take the message. Just check it down and move the ball down the field, and Patrick Mahomes will be all right. But right now, he is part of the problem.
Let me tell you something, man. I'm looking at a Kansas City offense. Last time I checked, Andy Reid is still there. Last time I checked, Eric Bieniemy is still there. I just gave you the numbers on Patrick Mahomes. Tyreek Hill's still there. McCole Hardman is not a scrub. Travis Kelce is that dude at the tight end spot. He's still there. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is averaging 4.7 yards per carry.
All of that.
So we could look at the play calling. Okay, we could look at the defense. All right. We could also ultimately have to look at Spagnuolo, who's a Super Bowl champion, by the way, former defensive coordinator for the New York Giants. Okay,
Big Blue,
the defense is bad.
You're
Okay,
from New
so
York.
I'm
You
sitting
should
there
show
like that.
more love
I'm
to
like,
them.
wait a minute now. There's a whole bunch of stuff you could point to before. Is Patrick Mahomes being the caretaker that he once was? Of course not. No. He's already got 9 interceptions when he only threw 6 all last year. I understand that, but it's a product.
8 in the last 5 games.
Excuse me. I'm saying it's a byproduct of him feeling he has to overcome. Because you know this, when you show up at the practice field, because you know this, you show up at the practice field, you watch these brothers practice, you're looking at the games, you're going like this. Damn, these brothers can't stop anybody.
Right.
We got to try something because we got to put it on ourselves.
There's more than one
to
something
win the
you
game.
can try. There's more than one something you can try. So let's try something. Let's try to score right fast to help out. Okay, that's one thing. Let's just move the ball down the field. Let's get first down.
But then talk about the offense. Don't talk about Patrick Mahomes.
Over there sitting down.
Don't talk about Patrick Mahomes.
Patrick Mahomes has to lead that offense. He has to be able to do that.
That's what Dan said, too. He's got to be a game manager.
I don't give a damn what Dan on
And Dan said it's 3 for 3.
We take that as a negative word.
I could care
Okay, just a Hall of Famer and someone who played quarterback in the NFL.
Managing the game is not a negative word. It's really a great talent if you can do it. It's why Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls. And last year, when everybody was talking about, Patrick Mahomes, he may be, I told everybody, I said, stop, shut up, stop saying that. Patrick Mahomes, you can't put him in a boat with Tom Brady because this thing can change just like that, and it has changed. That dynasty is over, buddy.
When did you say that? When did you say that? I didn't hear you say that. You can't put him in the same boat as Tom Brady. I didn't hear you say that. I didn't hear you say that.
This was last year at the Super Bowl. When everybody was trying to talk about, when everybody was trying to talk about he may surpass Tom Brady in Super Bowls. I said, are you guys joking? I knew then. You don't even know how hard it is to win a Super Bowl. Stop putting that pressure on that man because if he wins 3, then we're going to say he failed. He didn't come up. He didn't have a great.
He was running for his life because he had no protection.
In the Super Bowl, he did. In the Super Bowl, he was, and that was the first crack. You said at the beginning of this year when I said, why don't you give Kansas City time to work in their offense? They were together last year. Not that offensive line. And in football, you don't just pick up where you left off last year. And that offensive line needs time, and they still are not there yet.
Let me tell you something right now.
Dan said it was a talent issue.
Listen, it's a talent issue with the offensive tackle.
Deadline
It's a
November
talent
2nd.
issue on the defensive side of the ball. It is not a talent issue at the wide receiver spot, the running back spot, or the tight end spot.
Okay. Well, Patrick Mahomes posted a 6.1 QBR on Sunday. I will.
It's all right. It's
awful.
awful. It's an awful day. It's a bad day. Dead clock is right twice a day. You know, it happens.
He's a bad boy now. Nobody said.
Is your clue.
Uh-oh.
Michael Irvin. Here we go.
30 seconds on the clock.
Okay, here we go.
C.
Oh, no. And then
This is a lesson for all the children out there.
What is
It's
that?
called following the rules.
That was the beginning of the
Also, suffering the consequences.
That's right.
Not following the rules.
That's hilarious. I love
Oh
when
my
y'all do that
God,
game.
man.
That is funny. That is
oh my
funny.
God,
It really is.
I don't know why they mess with me. They know I really can't draw. I was going to draw like a stick man and leave half a face on this CD or draw another stick man and make a D over there. I was trying to get the CD lamp.
It was a nice stick, man. I knew what you were trying to do. I mean, that was beautiful. I could tell by the circle and line. I knew it was CD Lamb right away. Oh my God.
Oh my
you
God,
guys have a
man.
lot of fun on that show. It's good to see.
They do.
Oh my
That's a
goodness.
great game they played.
Yeah, for sure.
Because he can't draw the
Stephen
same
A.
life.
Stephen A. would cheat too. Don't worry.
He can't draw the same
All right.
life at all. At all.
I'm
Guys,
going to take drawing lessons.
let's
I'll
keep
get
it rolling
I'll
here.
get it.
You got other talents. You're good. There's only one on. You got enough jobs in the NFL. Stephen A., I'll start with you. Which team is the biggest threat to Kyler in the Cards?
Absolutely, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. That's an easy one right there because of Tom Brady. Tom Brady is the reason. When you're talking about a threat to the Arizona Cardinals,
I don't
you're
even
talking
wanna
about the
hear this
reigning
from you,
defending
bad
champions.
man.
You're talking about the reigning defending champions standing in the way. Now, Michael Irvin, he even had to concede this. Listen, we are talking about a 7-time Super Bowl champion.
This is a very annoying take by you.
Why?
Because all I hear is bad man and all that nonsense. And now you're going to go so hard for Tom Brady? It's like, get out of here with that.
Rodgers and them got a little.
Talk about hypocrisy.
Right. So you see, exactly. Thank you.
I'm sorry you feel that way, but I think my position is consistent. At the beginning of the season, I said that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers would defend their crown. I said if there's anybody that was standing in their way, it would be Green Bay. Obviously, Arizona's got something to say about it. I think that Green Bay could be there as well. But if you talk about, to me, the number one threat, what on earth, what reason would I have for betting against Tom Brady? I mean, if you see the way that he's playing, you see how intelligent he is, you see how he's able to neutralize opposing defenses and what have you. If you're talking about stopping a juggernaut coming down the tracks your way, it's Tom Brady that you want to do that to, because talent alone ain't going to get it. You got to know.
Yeah.
But I'm not consistent.
Well, I don't know if you're necessarily consistent, but
Yeah.
the Bucs will always be there. You're right. Tom Brady makes the Bucs a contender right there alone. But the real threat to the Arizona Cardinals, and trust me, Arizona's good now, and nobody's talking about they just picked up Zach Ertz. I'm telling you, that's a
big time pickup.
Oh my God,
Big time pickup.
When they because that worries me. Yeah. That worries me if they go up against the Cowboys now with Zach Ertz. But the biggest threat to the Cardinals are the Dallas Cowboys. Mm-hmm. It's the Dallas Cowboys. First of all, the Dallas has the ability to keep the ball out of Kyler Murray's hand by running the football. They got the tackles to work with those bad boys like Chandler Jones that Arizona has. Well,
He don't have to be.
Right.
He don't have to be.
And he would never be. And that's going to be a huge difference right here in this football team. I no doubt Dallas is the biggest competition in Arizona, and they will be playing each other. That's why I know Arizona won't go in there.
Who's going to be playing each other?
Dallas.
Who's going to be playing each other?
Dallas and Arizona.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Dallas might not win a playoff game. This is beautiful.
They will
This is beautiful.
You just said Dallas is not going to win a
They might not win a playoff game. It depends on their seeding. If they're playing the number 7 seed and they're the number 1 seed, that would be different. But I'm telling you right now, listen, they ain't going to the NFC Championship game. I tell you that right now. Dallas ain't going to the NFC Championship game. Dallas going home before the NFC Championship game. I'm going to be watching the NFC Championship game that ain't going to include the Dallas Cowboys. You can just brace yourself for that. I'm telling you that right now. You can say, oh, we'll see. We'll see.
Let me tell you. Did y'all hear the other day? Let me tell you. I thought about this too. I said, I want to pull it out. when J.J. Watt started talking about
That's right.
everybody.
We just better.
Right,
We just better.
We just better. But let me tell you what he's trying to do. You know what he's trying to do? He's trying to manufacture that thing
And what
that
would
brings
you
them
do?
together.
And what do you do? And what do you do when you're talking about the Cowboys?
When I told you that the Cowboys got it on the field, this is not something. He's working on trying to make it happen, but the Cowboys already have it.
He would know.
Now,
Hold on.
he wants to make it us against the world.
Hold it, damn it. Here's the deal. Number one, he would know he's a former 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. And, oh, by the way, he was playing in Houston, so he knows what it's like to lose.
But ain't nobody not giving them credit. We're giving them
he
credit.
knows what the difference is between losing and winning. That's number one. Y'all don't know about winning yet. Y'all just learning. You bet losing, so don't act like you know. Secondly,
my God.
Secondly, here's the other point, because you're forgetting this. You sitting there talking about he's trying to manufacture. Who tries to manufacture stuff for the Cowboys more than you?
That's the difference. I'm not manufacturing. I'm spotting, recognizing, and delivering to the people.
No, you are not.
That's my job.
Not what you do.
I got to give it to the people.
Time out. Who was on draft night hugging Micah Parsons? Look at what we gonna do. Okay, listen.
And was he not? Is he not a beast on that football field?
Time out. I love Micah Parsons, and I love my man Trayvon Diggs, Defensive Player of the Year.
Beast on the field.
I understand all of that. But y'all act like there was there was no way to go but up after Mike Nolan had your defense last year. So again, the improvement that they've shown, while it is recognized, the heftiness of the schedule comes later on in the season, and damn sure the postseason. You've been talking and bloviating all you want to. J.J. Watt has more. He's got more of a right to do it than you. He's on the field right now.
And saying J.J. Watt is wrong.
We just better.
I'm not saying J.J. Watt is wrong.
They're the only undefeated team in the National Football League.
But what I'm saying is, Stephen, just like we're here giving Arizona credit right now. Yeah. What J.J. Watt is trying to do is bring the team together by making them think, nobody believes in us, so we got to come together.
And what do you do about the Cowboys? And what do you do about the Cowboys?
That's manufacturing.
That ain't manufacturing?
Amari Cooper said the other day. Amari Cooper said, we are working on perfection. This is a championship offense. We expect to score every series.
What level of credibility do the Cowboys have to sit there and call anything a championship, anything with their roster? Anything! What have they done? What
level of credibility does J.J. Watt and them have? They have nothing at all. 6 years of defensive player of the year, but it didn't go anywhere. What good did it do?
I love the passion. I've really earned my paycheck today. We have one more commercial break. Please pray for me, everybody. It's real out here.
Don't give it no fist.
You got to have the right mindset, and you got to have some courage, and especially at the quarterback position. And he does. He's a special player. I personally think he's criminally underrated if you look at his career here in the National Football League.
I'll start with you. Do you agree Matt Ryan has been criminally underrated?
No, I don't believe he's been criminally underrated. I think that a lot of people watch football and they give Matt Ryan his respect. They know that he's a talent. It's just that, Molly, he hasn't had a winning record since 2017. He's just 7-9, 7-8, 4-12, and now this year he's 3-3.
Right.
And at one time he was the highest paid quarterback in football.
He's a former league MVP.
I'm just saying, and he's a former league MVP who took them to the Super Bowl. And listen, it's hard to recover when you're the quarterback that had enough clout in the league and you lose a 25-point lead in the Super Bowl. Because even though the defense couldn't stop Tom Brady, you could have made better play calling. You could have influenced Kyle Shanahan to make better play calling so you could hold the football a little bit longer and use that clock to your advantage. Matt Ryan didn't do that. And ever since then, they've been going downhill precipitously. Matt Ryan can play. He's not a scrub.
Yeah, right.
We know that. But I would not say at all that he has been criminally underrated. People have given him his respect, but they've also called him out because his talent demands that he should have.
Regard about Julio Jones, he's been played the best part of his years with Julio Jones. So no, he's not criminally underrated. And I'm not saying he criminally achieved. He had a very good career, but not underrated, man, and certainly bring me some more than just one opportunity at a Super Bowl that you lost and let Tom Brady come back on. So, hey, coach is just trying to get close with him. I understand that and make sure that everybody understands that he's behind.
When's the last time he had a really good defense?
It's been a while.
Crickets.
It's been a while, but let's also understand something here. we're looking at him too. Like there's been plenty of times when they lost the game because their defense couldn't stop a cold. There were other times where he could have done more and he didn't. And when you were in the same division as Drew Brees, there's going to be expectations. Once Tom Brady arrived, there was going to be expectations. And if you're competitive, that would be different. But when you just fall off the map and you become a losing team, that's a problem, period. And by the way, that kid Pitts is the real deal at that tight end spot.
And that's why I said he's had so much talent. He had what we call the gift of
Calvin
wide
Ridley
receiver,
and Julio Jones.
Now he has Kyle Pitts. It's a lot of talent there.
Before we go, Monday Night Football, who you got? You going Seahawks?
No. Russell Wilson's not playing. I'm going to roll with the Saints. Is Sean Payton?
Yeah, you roll with the Saints here. Man, even though Geno hadn't played bad,
he hasn't
football,
played bad.
Man.
He hasn't played bad.
Just those little mistakes at the end of the game where he loses the ball or throw an interception. But just
Geno is the kind of quarterback that has to win running away. If the game is tight when it counts, you can also count on him making a mistake. That's the problem. He's played relatively well. I've been very impressed with Geno Smith, but he makes pivotal mistakes, and that's the problem with him. And I don't see it being any different tonight.
Yeah.
A lot of hypocrisy by you today. So if you could just watch the show back and just see the inconsistencies throughout. I'd like you to do that. I'd like you to look at the first hour and how hard he went for Aaron Rodgers. And then to the second hour.
It's kind of an order around.
We should all watch tape, right?
Got
I mean,
Ryan
that's what we do.
coming
I know you have so many shows, so it's hard to keep.
How's UConn?
UConn lost to Middle Tennessee. It's very sad.
That's right.